welcome to a new weekly vlog with the Crumbles.
Hey.
It's Tuesday and we've been off to the other house because we've had more plasterers out. The one that just came out, he seemed like not big-headed but just a bit full of himself, even though they're like the same thing. But yeah,
I had one out this morning when you were peeping. He was really canny. He was like, I was gonna say young, but like he was like a year younger than me. But
but the last one you picked without me being there was the joiner, and he's really good.
Who, James? Yeah,
I like our joiner.
He's really good.
So maybe you're better at picking. I don't know.
But like he was really like the young plaster. He was like really canny. He was just like.
Don't you think
like,
that one seemed a bit?
I feel like his price is gonna come in like
similar
really high up.
Yeah,
I feel like it's gonna be really high up, especially when he was like, "Oh, don't like go for
the cheap one." Kept saying, "Don't go for cheap one. Oh, it'll be better than like upstairs." Whereas I really like what Andy did.
Yeah.
It's our fault. It's cracked.
Yeah.
It's just because we got it plastered properly before we should have. We had a bit of kerfuffle this morning because Chris washed all my leggings last night and didn't put them on to dry. So I had nothing to wear, and then I found a pair of jeggings. So we're safe. They were still in the washing machine, absolutely drenched. I literally was like, I don't have anything to wear, Chris, because I live in leggings and you've washed them all and they're all wet.
Oops.
So we just rushed over to the other house because we had an appointment, like someone was coming out to measure, and it's been half an hour since they were meant to be here. So Chris phoned up like the place where the guy was coming out from, and it's not till tomorrow.
I'm adamant. We're like both adamant. It was like Wednesday.
It's definitely meant to be today.
We were meant to have someone else coming out today as well. That was meant to phone us and did an absolute crank.
Yeah, there's this guy. He clearly thinks too much of himself, but it was just more like to get, because it's for the floor, and it was to get him to come out and measure it and see what price he came in at. But we arranged it and we said, well, we're not we don't live there, so as long as you give us an hour, like half an hour to an hour's notice, we'll be there. And we got to the house and he'd already put like a business card through at the door, so he didn't phone us. He didn't even like write on the card, you know, what time he'd been there.
No, they literally just put a card through the door. What's the point in that? Like out of principle,
and I don't like
even
him
if I was wanting to anywhere, I'd purposely wouldn't buy
from him
just on the basis of that's like the worst customer service ever.
But also he's like very much like looked at us twice now. Twice we've been into his shop, and he's kind of looked at us like, oh god, they're young, they're not going to be able to afford it. That does my head in. So rude. Stop being so judgmental, people. It's horrible, isn't it? The other guy that we thought was coming out today is apparently coming out tomorrow. The guy in their like showroom was so lovely, wasn't he? And like he was like, oh, this like he was literally walked us around the shop and then would go off and be like, oh, you look around, and then he'd come back and be like, are you alright? This like, he was really helpful, and he was like, oh, this is what a lot of people use on stairs, or this is the more luxurious version. Like he did keep saying like it all comes down to cost, but not in a like a patronising way. It was more like
just a helpful way, not a
more like they're pretty much the same. This one might be a bit fluffier, but like that was to do with carpets. But it all depends what your budget is. You never once asked us what our budget was, or like was like, oh, it's a bit expensive. Like
no, it's just
never.
Laid back.
Really bugs me.
Where are we off to today then, Jim?
I don't know. I said home sense, but you went in a mood.
I just feel like I don't know what I feel like. I'm just so flat at the moment. All the fun's just being drained out of the house at the moment, because for something that I thought would have took 3 weeks, it's going to end up dragging out and taking the best part of like 7 or 8 weeks. So everything is being stupidly pushed back beyond.
Basically, the joiner can't get in till next week, and he's going to take a week because he's slipped 2 discs in his neck, which, like, to be fair, I think we're quite lucky that he's still working, because he's by far one of the cheapest, and every single tradesman that comes in asks who did our joinery,
because it's good,
because it's amazing. And it's like they always like, the plasterer's always like, oh, I love it when they do that, or like, oh, that's really, like, someone said that's really neat, like, his work's had nothing but compliments, and he's been the cheapest one by far, because when he went AWOL, we got a couple of others and they were like 3 times his price. It's like ridiculous. So he's going to take a week, but he can't start till next week.
The electricians are already like, well, obviously they're done now, don't get me wrong, they came in, did it in 2 days, like they've still got that top bit of wiring to do, but they came in, obviously that pushed it back 3 weeks initially. Yeah,
but that wasn't like a, that was our fault for not contacting them sooner.
Yeah,
but
and then obviously wait a week for him to come in, and then he's going to come in, and then we then got to wait till the following, is it the following week or the week after that?
Yeah.
Plasterer.
It's not that much, because if he start, no, it's literally not that much. But the plasterer won't start till the 30th. Which
is like 13 days away. It just feels so far, and then he's going to take at least a week, probably a week and a half or so.
Yeah.
And then we've got to then wait a week for that to dry.
But if right now we start looking at decorators and getting a price on the full house, then we can get someone in for that after that week. That's where we're going wrong, is we're not getting people straight away.
Just a bit like, it's like,
and then get the joiner in ready to fit the kitchen.
Yeah, it's just like majorly depressing when it feels like everything's, you can see everything and you know what you want doing, but it just never,
it doesn't happen in your time frame.
Yeah,
you want everything done yesterday, don't you? I mean, I guess we all do.
No, I just want it to be like flow nicely. It's these gaps where like going over the house for the sake of going over the house, there's nothing we can do.
Yeah.
Like there's physically nothing we can do in the house to change things.
I mean, we physically could, but it costs us more money to fix it.
So we're in Homesense, and this is going to be a very, very long day. What have you picked up now? What is that?
It's another planter. I've already got more. I picked up a whale one.
This is going to be an expensive and long day.
I don't know how to put this, but I want it.
I think I've found something.
You can do it again.
No, I was just looking at him and thought that it's funny, isn't it?
And he just terrified me.
Get cute.
Again!
How good is that? That is literally like the best thing in the world.
You'd appreciate that.
You can't not appreciate the dog chunk out of the mat. But we're thinking that one is pretty cool. Oh, beehive. Turn your straighteners off. It's one for you, that. So we've been looking for these hangers. These are the grey ones with the black on the top. And they've actually got like a light blue colour with copper. But all we want to do is get them grey ones with them copper hangers, but we can't find them anywhere. We've narrowed down. You can start to get the black and gold ones, but there's just no grey and copper anywhere. It is literally like a massive search. As you may have realised, our camera sort of had a bit of a breakdown midweek. So I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, I think it broke. It's now Friday, and may not have been a lot of footage in the last few days, simply because Canon is that amazing and it decided to break for a few days. I've just came over to Teesside Park because our local Maplin is closing down, and I don't know when it's closing down. I know it's closing down shortly, and I want to go and see what's in the sale. I'm reluctant to miss a good sale, and I think it's got like 1 or 2 days left. I really need to go find out. I was meant to be, I think I'd came out to drop a cable off for my mum and to go and pick a parcel up from the other house. It got delivered to our neighbour over the road like 3 days ago, and every time we were going over, she just wasn't in. And I was like, for Christ's sake, you're not in! I've managed to pick that up today. Helen's, I think she's just like in the bedroom watching YouTube. But yeah, camera's back working again. I feel like it was just the memory card broke or something. Like, I don't know what happened, but we managed to fix it somehow. Like, we just kept formatting the memory card and then like messing about with the settings, but it's recording again, so who knows. Let's hope the rest of the footage that we shot earlier in the week is actually still safe, because that'd be a disaster. Well, that Maplin sale was absolutely awful. Right, they've literally got signs everywhere saying like, 2 days to go, closing down sale, all stock must go, Right, so I thought, you know what? Fancy treating myself. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna have a look at the drones, have a look at the Amazon Echo, the Ring doorbell, and some drones. That's like a few things that I've like been keeping my eye on and just, you know, having a mooch about online and looking at reviews on YouTube and stuff. Went in, the Mavic Pro, which, oh my god, I'd love to get one, right? Literally, £1,099, special offer signs all over it. I was like, it's not a special offer. I could go to Argos, I could go to Jessop's, I could go to like loads of places. It's £1,000 everywhere. So that's not a special offer, it's just the retail price on it. So that's really, really annoyed me. The Ring doorbell was standard price. They didn't have any Amazon Echoes. They had like the Google Home and stuff, but it was all just standard price. And then the stuff that was like apparently 50% off the market price, it was already overinflated anyway. I'm now gonna go and drop this cable off that I came out for about half an hour ago, and then get back, because I promised Helen, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna nip out, and then when I get back, do you want some cheese, or like cheese and onion on toast, because I know she likes that sort of thing. I know what Pundy likes, you see. So yeah, I'm gonna go back and do my thing, and I'm looking forward because there's quite a few YouTube vlogs that I want to catch up on. Mars Bars vlogs, there's a new person that I've came across, James Matthews, who's in Vietnam at the moment. His vlogs are amazing. And then there's a guy called Iman. He's quite like a young YouTuber, but he's got like a real sort of entrepreneur hustle sort of vibe about him, which I enjoy.
Or a hash brown, but it needed to be used by 4 days ago. But it was actually quite nice dropping them off really early in the morning.
Because the traffic too.
Because there was no traffic. Well, we're not home yet. But the neighbours must have thought we were proper weirdos. Like, we went over to pick this car up. What time? Probably 20 to 6 in the morning. And when we've been buying stuff, we've been leaving it in the boot of the car so it didn't get dirty in the house. So we had to empty the boot, and then because, well we didn't vlog the other day, but the dogs were in the back of the car with one of the sea cleaned things, but there was still like dog hair, so I had to clean that up. Must have thought we were right while he's doing that at like before 6 in the morning.